My name is Sarah Whitmore. And the moment my sister told me to clean again, something inside me finally became clear. I didn't live in that house. I worked in it. I had spent the entire morning scrubbing floors, wiping counters, folding laundry that wasn't even mine. The place looked perfect. Quiet. Untouched. Then the front door slammed open. My sister Lena walked in, heels clicking, dragging mud straight across the floor I had just mopped. She didn't even look down. "Sarah," she said, casually dropping her bag, "clean this again. You live here for free. You have to work." My parents were sitting in the living room. They heard every word. And they laughed. Not loud. Not cruel. Just enough. Just enough to tell me they agreed. I stood there, still holding the cloth, staring at the mud spreading across the floor. No one said anything else. No one corrected her. No one looked at me like I mattered. And that was the part that stayed with me. Not the words. The silence after them. I had moved back home 6 months earlier. Just temporary, they said. Just until you get back on your feet. But temporary in my family always came with conditions nobody said out loud. Lena had the bigger room. Lena had the car. Lena had the freedom. I had chores. I had rules. And apparently, I had a role. So I put the cloth down slowly. I didn't argue. I didn't react. Because for the first time, I understood something with complete clarity. This wasn't my home. And I didn't owe them anything. I walked to my room, picked up my bag, and left. No slam doors. No goodbye. No dramatic final words. I just walked out. And the air outside felt different. Lighter. Even though I had absolutely nowhere to go. I sat in my car for a minute, hands on the wheel, replaying the sound of that laughter in my head. Not aggressive. Not loud. Just dismissive, like I didn't matter enough to take seriously. That part hurt more than anything Lena had said. I started the engine and drove. No destination. Just distance. At the next red light, my phone buzzed. Lena, of course. I let it ring. Then a message came through. "Where did you go? The floor is still dirty." No concern. No question. Just expectation. I almost replied. Almost. Instead, I locked my phone and kept driving. 15 minutes later, I found myself pulling into a place I hadn't thought about in years. A real estate office. Glass front, clean signage, quiet. I sat there a moment, engine still running. Then I turned it off, grabbed my bag, and walked inside. The receptionist looked up. "Can I help you?" "Yes," I said, my voice steadier than I felt. "I need to speak to someone about selling a property." She nodded and gestured toward an office. "Do you own the property?" I paused for just a second. Then I answered yes. Because technically I did. And the moment I said it out loud, everything started to shift. The agent's name was Mr. Dalton. Late 50s, calm eyes, the kind of man who didn't rush his questions. He gestured for me to sit, then folded his hands on the desk. "What property are we discussing?" I opened my bag and slid the documents across. "This house," I said. He glanced down, then looked again, slower. "This address," he murmured, "it's currently occupied?" "Yes." "And you are the listed owner?" I nodded. "Transferred to me 3 years ago." He raised an eyebrow. "Through inheritance?" "No," I said. "A direct transfer. From my grandmother. The only person in that family who never treated me like I was temporary. She didn't announce it. Didn't make a scene. She just took me to a lawyer one afternoon, signed a few papers, and told me quietly, some people need to learn what things cost. At the time, I thought she meant money. Now I understood she meant something else entirely. Mr. Dalton flipped through the documents. Title deed, transfer record, signature. All clean. "If you're looking to sell," he said slowly, "we can begin immediately. Have you informed the current occupants?" I shook my head. "Not yet." He studied me for a moment, then gave a small nod. "I would advise doing so soon." I stood and gathered the papers. "I will," I said. Just not the way they expected. And they had absolutely no idea what was coming next. I didn't go home that night. I checked into a small motel 10 minutes away. Nothing fancy. Just quiet. Just mine. For the first time in months, no one knocked on my door. No one called my name from another room. No one expected anything from me. My phone buzzed 3 times before I even sat down. Lena. Then my mother. Then Lena again. I didn't answer. I let it ring. Let it stop. Let the silence stay. By morning, there were 7 missed calls and 1 message from my father. Where are you? No concern. No apology. Just control. I showered, got dressed, and went back to the real estate office. Mr. Dalton was already prepared. We can list it by end of day, he said, but first we need to issue formal notice to the occupants. Formal. That word felt exactly right. Do it, I said. By afternoon, the notice was sent. Official, documented, delivered. I drove back to the house just before sunset. Not to go inside. Just to watch. The front door opened fast. My mother stepped out first, paper in her hand, confusion already turning into something sharper. My father followed. Lena right behind him. They stood there reading it again and again, trying to make it make sense. I stayed in my car, engine off, just far enough away that they couldn't see me clearly. But I could see them. And for the first time in a long time, they didn't look certain. My phone rang before I even pulled away. Lena. I let it ring twice, then answered. What is this? She snapped immediately. No hello. No hesitation. What kind of joke is this, Sarah? It. Not a joke, I said calmly. Silence. Then louder. You sent a legal notice to this house? To us. Yes. You don't own this house, she said, almost laughing. Are you actually serious right now? I looked at the steering wheel, fingers steady. Yes. Another pause, longer this time. Then my mother's voice cut through from the background. Sharp. Controlled. Put her on speaker. I heard movement, footsteps, fabric. Then, Sarah, my mother said, tone suddenly soft and measured. What exactly are you trying to do? There it was. Not anger. Strategy. I'm selling the house, I said. Nothing. Nobody spoke. For a second it felt like the whole world had paused with them. That's not possible, my father said finally. You don't have the authority. I do. You're confused, my mother added quickly. We can talk about this when you come home. Home. I almost smiled. I'm not coming back. Silence again. Different this time. Heavy. Because something had shifted, and they could feel it. Lena's voice came back, tighter now. If this is about yesterday, you're overreacting. Just come back and we'll fix it. Fix it. Like it was small. Like it was nothing. It's already being handled, I said. And before they could say another word, I ended the call. Because for the first time in my life, I wasn't asking. They didn't wait long. The next morning, someone knocked on my motel door. Not soft. Not patient. Sharp and repeated. I didn't need to check to know who it was. Sarah, open the door. Lena. Then my father's voice, lower, strained. We need to talk. Need. Not want. Not please. I got up, walked to the door, and opened it just enough to see them. All 3 of them. My mother stood slightly behind, eyes already scanning the room, assessing the situation before speaking. You've made your point, she said quickly. Now let's end this before it gets unnecessary. Unnecessary. Like legal notices were accidents. Like this was a misunderstanding. It's already done, I said. No, my father cut in, stepping forward. You can withdraw it. Call whoever you spoke to. Fix this. Always that word. Like I was the problem that needed adjusting. You had no right to send that, Lena snapped. We live there. I looked at her. You stay there, I said quietly. Just like you said to me. Her expression shifted. My mother stepped forward then, voice even softer. Sarah, we can figure this out as a family. Family. Now it mattered. Now I mattered. I held her gaze. Where was that yesterday? I asked. No one answered. Because they didn't have one. And for the first time, they weren't talking over me. They were waiting. They tried everything after that. Calls, messages, showing up again with different tones and different strategies. Lena started with anger. You're being ridiculous. You can't just throw us out like this. My father tried control. Legal processes aren't as simple as you think. This will get complicated for you. And my mother switched to something softer. Sarah, we're worried about you. This isn't like you. That one almost made me pause. Not because I believed her. Because I recognized it. It was the same line she used every single time I stepped outside the role they had assigned me. This isn't like you, meaning this isn't who we allow you to be. By the third day, the tone changed. Shorter messages. Less certainty. Then finally, just a question. Can we meet and talk? No demands. No instructions. Just a question. I agreed. We met at the house, not inside, but outside on the driveway where I used to stand holding grocery bags while Lena walked right past me without offering help. They were already there when I arrived. Waiting. That was new. My father spoke first, but his voice didn't carry the same weight anymore. We didn't know, he said. About the ownership. I nodded once. I know. My mother stepped forward slightly. Your grandmother never told us. She didn't need to, I said. Silence. Then. Lena, quieter than I had ever heard her. So what happens now? I looked past them at the house. Still. Clean. Just the way I had left it. It gets sold, I said. And for the first time, they didn't argue. The house sold in 11 days. Cash offer, above asking, no negotiations. Clean, just like everything else I had done. They moved out before closing. No arguments. No last-minute scenes. Just boxes, silence, and a driveway that looked smaller without their certainty filling it. I didn't go inside while they packed. I didn't need to. That house had already stopped being mine a long time ago. Now it was just finished. On the day of closing, I stood in the same real estate office where all of this had started. Same desk. Same calm voice. Congratulations, Mr. Dalton said as I signed the final document. I nodded, pen steady, no shaking, no second thoughts. Because this was never about the money. It never was. It was about something much simpler. Knowing my place and deciding it for myself. After everything was done, I walked out into the afternoon light. My phone buzzed. A message from my mother. We didn't think you'd go this far. I read it once. Then I locked my phone. Because that was the difference between us. They thought I wouldn't. And I didn't need to prove anything anymore. I had already done the one thing they never saw coming. I stopped asking. And when you stop asking, the people who are used to controlling you don't know what to do next. I got into my car, started the engine, and drove away. Not from the house. From the version of myself that used to stay.